What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have a collection video, so I'm going to show you guys my entire football boot collection. Now I don't really consider myself a collector. I don't really go and buy like limited edition cleats or anything like that. Usually I just buy like normal colorways, and I've been doing that since I believe 2013 is when I bought my first pair of high-end soccer cleats. So since 2013 I have been like buying high-end cleats, and the reason for that is just I'm just very interested in the soccer cleats and the technology that they use and how they improve upon like every boot. So I have been like buying cleats since like 2013. So today I'm just gonna show you guys the cleats that I have gotten over the years. For the most part, I always keep my cleats. That's why I have so many in my collection. You guys can see I have them here in drop boxes. Here I also have some newer cleats that I got that I'm going to show you guys. I haven't done video of these. These I have done the New Balance Tequila. The video is already out here in these boxes. So this is a sneak peek of what's coming in the future. So here I have a pair of Skechers, and here are the SK, what are they called? SKX01 in the low, in this white colorway. I really like these. Excited to try these. They feel pretty nice. Then I have these right here, the Razors. Also another pair of Sketcher boots, which actually feel pretty nice. I have already like worn them. So I haven't done any videos with these yet, like no first impressions videos yet. I will be doing that later on, so stay tuned for that. And here I have a pair of Mizunos, and it's in this very bright Volt colorway. And it's the Mizuno Morelia 2, which again, it's a very, very good pair of boots. Really like them. Excited to try these out. And I will be making videos of these later on in the next coming weeks. I just did a video on these, and I will be testing these. I haven't tried these yet, but I will be trying them, I believe, next week, and I'll have a playtest video also. So these are the new cleats that I will be testing. And right here I have my Copas, which I have already, used these quite a bit. And I still need to wear them a bit more just to, gather my thoughts of these. Overall good boot, just some heel issues that are a little annoying, but other than that, very solid pair of cleats. Alright guys, so here is the entire collection in drop boxes. I just have them in these like plastic boxes just to, I guess, protect them. It's just easier to store and like stuff like that. So, here it is. Now I don't actually have like a way to organize them. They're kind of just scattered for the most part. Newer boots are here in the middle, where it's just easier to grab and let go, just since they are like new models. They're the ones that I'm using the most right now. And then like the older stuff are just scattered all throughout, just because I don't really grab older boots. For the most part, I'm just using like new boots, and like older boots I only use for like quick videos and stuff, so I'm not really using them, so they could just go to like places where I don't really have to like move stuff to get them. So like these are easier to access and stuff. You guys can see Adidas, Nike, Puma. Here in the bottom, it's like Under Armour, Mizuno. I have my Magistas, the Hypervenoms there. Some Mizunos again, Puma, older boots, just in random places. For the most part, I kind of know the layout of where each boot is. You guys can see there. Boots that I don't really use all that much, like my Puma Tricks, the Ultras, those Prides up there. And I actually don't know how many pairs I have. I actually haven't counted them. I probably have more than 60 pairs probably, if I were to guess. And also, just to make this video short, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to go through each brand. So I'm just going to go through Nike, Adidas, Puma, like Under Armour, New Balance and stuff like that, and just show you guys each like boot from that brand. So that's probably the best way to do it, just because if I do it individually here, it's going to take a while. It's just going to be really like messy. Alright guys, so here I have my Adidas lined up right now. So I'll show you guys real quick each boot. So here first, it is the Adidas Predator LZ2 SL. So this is a lightweight version of the LZ2. And these were actually my first pair of high-end cleats that I ever got. So yeah, that's why I haven't thrown these out or anything. I really like them, very lightweight. The grip elements were there. Next to that, we have Predator Instinct in the glow in the dark colorway. I think it's a pretty cool colorway to have. Here we have the Instinct in the SL version. These are actually one of my favorite cleats of all time. I really wish I had another pair. You guys can see they're all yellowed and rubber elements. are pretty hard until they crack if I ever wear them. So unfortunately can never wear these again, but I really love those cleats. Next to that, we have a pair of Adidas Ace 15 in the Prime Knit version. These cleats were pretty good. The upper was nice and soft. It just lacked responsiveness just because this upper was very soft. But overall, solid boot. Next, we have the Adidas Pure Control in the laceless variation, which honestly, these were really bad. The upper was very stiff and it just didn't really fit well. You had to have a specific foot shape in order for you to fit well in these, and unfortunately I just didn't fit well in these. Next we have a pair of Adidas X Pure Chaos, which again, I feel like these boots were really good. I feel like a lot of people have forgotten about these, but very solid boot. Next to that we have a pair of Adidas Ace 17.1s. And these boots, honestly, I feel like the toe box was nice and soft, but the midfoot was just too stiff for my liking. I didn't really like this boot at all. It was just like an uncomfortable pair of boots to have. Next to that, we have a pair of Adidas Ace 18. Oh no, Predator 18.1. Sorry, they changed the name. Basically another Ace boot. This wasn't really a Predator, but you know the upper was very soft, knitted upper. This was actually a really good boot. I just don't think it's like a Predator. It's still an Ace in my opinion. But very solid boot. Really like them. Here we have a pair of Nemesis 17.1s, the first generation. And these are actually my favorite cleats of all time. They're just super comfortable. They fit my foot really well. Like no nonsense. Like there isn't really anything special. Like anything that stands out. Like the upper is nice and soft. Like but there's nothing like crazy. But they're just super comfortable and they fit my foot really well. I really like them a lot. Next we have another pair of Adidas Predators. And this generation honestly wasn't my favorite one. The upper, in my opinion, wasn't as soft. And yes, it had a good amount of rubber elements, but the upper wasn't as soft in my opinion. Here we have the 2014 F50 Addy Zero in this messy colorway. And I wear these boots a lot. I really like these boots a lot. And the F50, you guys already know, one of the best like speed boots ever made. Really like this boot. Next, we have one of the current boots, the Adidas X Crazy Fast. You know, here we have the Crazy Fast Plus, the current Preds, the accuracy 0.1, Adidas X, what is it? 18.1s. But yeah, these boots, very solid boot. I really like them, nice and lightweight. The upper was like a mesh upper. It's very soft. It was really good. Here, the boots that I'm currently testing is the Copa Pure 2. And yeah, that is the entire like Adidas collection, I guess. Alright, so we'll move on, I guess, to Nike. So here, my first pair of Nikes, or like high-end Nike boots, were the Hypervenom Phantom 1s. Now, you know, these boots, very comfortable, but after a while, obviously, you know, durability issues and stuff like that. But yeah, a great boot. I feel like a lot of people remember these. Next to that, Magista Over 1s in the launch colorway. Use these quite a bit. I don't use these anymore, just have them there for the collection, obviously. I have another pair of Magista Over 1s. And usually I don't buy like cleats twice. Usually I'm fine just buying one pair. But if I really like them a lot, then I'll just buy another pair. So here I have another pair of Magista Over 1s in this like metallic colorway. Really like that colorway. Next to that, Superfly 5. Good boot. I did have the Superfly 4, but no longer have them in my collection, unfortunately. I did have like the CR7, like the shiny silver colorway, the sparkly one. Yeah, I really like those. No longer have them, unfortunately, which kind of sucks. Really wish I held on to those. Next, we have Magista Over 2s. Again, another pair of Magista Over 2s just because I really like this boot a lot, so I just decided to get a second pair. Hypervenom Finish to like 2.5, the second variation with the original Nike skin, which was way better in my opinion. Really like this boot a lot. Tempo Legend 7, another really good tempo, really comfortable. Here we have the Superfly 6. You know, I didn't really mind it. After this version, I didn't really try the Vapor until the current one. Here we have Hypervenom Phantom 3. Really good boot, soft knitted upper. These like memory, like foam bits in the striking area. Really good boot, I really like that. Phantom Vision. Again, one of the more comfortable boots that I have tried. I really like this boot a lot. And it's just super comfortable. The upper is super soft. It just feels like it moves naturally with your foot. Here we have Nike Magista Opus 2. Again, It's a very underrated boot in my opinion. It's super soft, nice and comfortable on feet. Feels close to like a leather boot. Has these dimples here just for some texture, and it just gives a nice dampened feeling. I did have the Opus 1, but unfortunately I just no longer have it. Kind of wish, like again, I kind of had that boot still. Here we have the Nike Phantom Venom, which again, comfortable boot. I feel like I'm a big fan of the Nike Phantom in general. I feel like for the most part they've always been good. The only ones I haven't tried is the Phantom GT, like in GT2. Never tried those. I just wasn't really interested in those. Next to that, I have the Flyknit Ultra. Again, really solid boot. I actually haven't really tried these. I've had them on feet in the field and juggle a bit. I never really played in them, so they're kind of brand new. And I guess in terms of like limited edition boots, these are one of the more limited ones that I do have. And also, none of these cleats are for sale. Just letting you guys know that right now before you write it in the comments. I don't really sell my cleats. I just keep them. And now we have like more current stuff. So Vapor 15, really like the Vapors. Phantom GX1s, GX2s, Temple Legend 10s, which isn't my favorite boot currently right now in Nikes, but they're still a solid option. GX1, and again, usually I don't buy cleats twice, but the GX1 was just a really fantastic boot, and I really like it. So just decided to get this one, and this colorway is just very nice. And here, the last one is the Nike Phantom Luna, which again, not the best Nike boot ever. You know, it wasn't really like that great. I feel like if you wore it a lot and just broke it in, then yeah, it was okay. Like, but compared to what Nike has right now, just not the best boot they've ever made. And yeah, that is my entire like Nike collection. Alright guys, so next we have Puma, and I actually don't have that many Puma boots, which I'm pretty surprised by. But Puma, here we have the Puma Evo Power 1s in the Tricks colorway for the World Cup of 2014. I just really like this boot overall, and this colorway is just amazing. I'm actually glad I have these. Yeah, the Evo Power 1s were a fun boot to wear. Just really like wearing these a lot. I actually did wear these. And I did try the Evo Power 1.2s and 1.3s. The 1.2s I actually didn't really like that much. The upper wasn't as soft. And the 1.3s were fantastic. I actually sold those. I had them in this colorway right here, actually. The other Tricks for the Euro. And I no longer have them, which kind of sucks. I really wish I held on to those. Next we have the Puma Evo Power Vigor 3D. Now these boots were kind of weird because they just kind of made them without really saying much about them. But you guys can see it's kind of the same upper adapt light, I believe. And there's like memory foam bits on the inside. So, you know, it's a pretty cool, unique boot. I actually really like wearing these boots a lot too. Next to that, we have the Evo Touch. And so it featured a kangaroo leather with like a knitted base on the inside. And it was an okay boot. I feel like the combination of leather and knit kind of just took away from the leather feel. And it just, since it had 2 layers, it just didn't really feel like a leather boot. But yeah, solid boot, I guess. Here we have the Puma Futures, the first one. And this was a really unique boot just because of the lacing system. You guys could customize the laces however you want. And either get more like, you know, locked down in specific areas. So this is a really unique concept from Puma. And they, you know, they did a good amount of boots. And the Future has changed from what it is now. But from when they started, a very unique boot in my opinion. Not the softest upper, but it was pretty thin. And I didn't really mind wearing these. I actually kind of like these. Next we have the Puma King Platinum, I believe they're called. And very, very good leather boot. It's like a leather vapor, in my opinion. Fits nice to the foot. The leather upper was kind of thin, but still very, very soft. I don't really have laces on them, took them off, but I wear them with laces. I just changed the laces, but then took them out just to put them on other boots. But I'll buy more white laces just because I think it just looks better. But yeah, very good boot in my opinion. And here we have the Puma Future 1.3s. And I actually like wearing these boots a lot when they came out. And these were actually my favorite boots that I got when that year when they came out. Just because there was like a unique sensation with this like elastic band here just kind of like hugged your foot. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just was a unique sensation, something that not other boots did on the market. So I just really liked it, and they kind of took that away with the current model. And well, not the current model, the ultimate, which is this boot right here. They took off that band, so this boot just kind of felt like, I don't know, there wasn't really anything special about this boot. Yes, the upper is very soft, but it just felt like a standard boot, like knitted boot. I don't know how to say it. This one felt a lot more unique. This one was a solid boot. I really like this too, but there wasn't really anything special about these. And then we have the Ultra Ultimate, which honestly, it's an okay boot. It's not a bad boot. Like, I still wear it once in a while, but compared to every other speed boot, it's just not as good. There's just nothing unique about this boot. This boot doesn't really stand out. And honestly, I would just prefer to wear something else. Yeah, I haven't even tried the new Ultra Ultimate just because I don't think there's that many changes. The upper actually might be a little bit stiffer just because they added like that material here in the upper. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try it if I find them cheap, but I doubt it. But yeah, that is the Puma collection. Alright guys, so next we have Mizuno. So here are my Mizuno boots. And the first ones we have, these were my first pair of Mizunos, the Wave Ignitus 3. Now I never tried the original Wave Ignitus or the second generation. And these were synthetic upper. And you know, the synthetic wasn't really that soft. But the boot was overall kind of fun to wear and really fun to shoot with, just because you guys had this like striking panel and the boot Mukaiten panel. Sorry, yeah, that's how you pronounce it, Mukaiten, I believe. Yeah, it was a very fun boot to wear. Nice boot to like, shoot free kicks and stuff like that. And even though the upper wasn't as soft, it still was a good boot. I enjoyed wearing it. Crazy traction here. Next we have the Bizarro 101, which is the second generation. And again, another weird boot from Mizuno, just because I feel like this is what, like a speed boot or an agility boot, because they already had the Neo and, you know, the Wave Ignitus. So this is kind of like a weird boot, but still a nice soft kangaroo leather upper. And I had a Burrito style tongue. And I think this introduced this like wing right here, which is kind of a flex groove, and it just carried over to the Revula, which I'll show you in a bit. But yeah, I really like that addition of this like flex groove. It's kind of hard to show just because, but yeah, really okay boot. Not my favorite Mizuno boot, if I'm being completely honest. I didn't really wear it all that much. Next we have the Wave Ignitus 4 made in Japan. Now this just had like a little bit of leather here in the toe box. That's about it. Everything else was like a synthetic, and the striking element wasn't as crazy. And they kind of removed the Mukain panel and just gave us these memory foam on. But still, it was a really good boot to wear. I really like this. I kind of fell in love with this boot a lot. Wore these boots a lot, and these are built like a tank. I wore these a lot, and you guys can see they're still in really good condition. And I kind of customized them a bit. But yeah, one of my favorite Mizuno boots that they've come out with. And I actually have a second pair. This is a brand new pair. I haven't used these. And yeah. Next we have the Mizuno Revula, which it's a solid boot. It replaced the Wave Ignitus, and it was a full leather boot. It did have this marine foam cage, which added support and some more like dampness, just because the leather was kind of thin. So, you know, pretty good boot. And then we have the Revula 2, which honestly was just not it. They kind of added or like made the memory foam thicker. You guys can see it right here. And it just kind of made the upper stiffer. Like the leather was way thinner, and you would only feel kind of the memory foam. But this memory foam, I don't know, even though I wore them, like tried breaking them in, they just wouldn't get soft. It was just too thick. You guys can see it kind of punches, like, I don't know, the memory foam just wasn't as soft as the previous version, and I just didn't really like these. They were just not that comfortable. But then we got the third generation of the Mizuno Revula, and these were fantastic. Just like the leather upper was nice and soft, the memory foam was nice and soft. It performed pretty well, and this sole plate was just amazing. My favorite sole plate probably ever. It was just really good, nice and flexible, still responsive. A very solid sole plate and a very solid boot. And now we have the Mizuno Alpha, which is currently my favorite boot. that's out right now. Just fits me really well. Nice thin synthetic, nice and lightweight, responsive sole plate, very solid boot. And my current like pickup from Mizuno is the Morelli 2. I actually never tried a pair, which is kind of crazy just because this is like probably an absolute must that people probably have to try just because it's kind of like a modern OG. And yeah, I feel like I know how these are gonna feel just because it is a full leather boot. I've tried them, they're super comfortable, fit me pretty well. I'll probably do a first impressions video in the next coming weeks. I just have more boots to review, so these will be coming later. But yeah, very solid boot. And yeah, that is my Mizuno collection. Alright guys, so we have the rest of the boots here, which is like New Balance, Under Armour, and a pair of Umbros. But before we get into those, I forgot to show you guys these boots. I forgot to put them in the Mizuno lineup, which is the Mizuno Morelia Neo 4 Beta Elite. What a name. But yeah, really good boot. Nice, soft kangaroo leather, synthetic midfoot. The Elite series from Mizuno's, they're so good, and they're not as expensive as the Made in Japan models, but they're just very good in terms of quality, and like just, they still perform pretty well. So yeah. Alright, so we'll get back into the rest of the boots. So here I have a pair of Warrior Superheats, which basically Warrior was a company before New Balance. They were owned by New Balance, and so they had their own football boots. And this is the Superheat, which honestly, it wasn't a great boot, but it was wearable. Like, I just really like this colorway. And it was like a synthetic mesh, and it's kind of stiff, not as soft. It's kind of thin, but you know, it's pretty cool to have, I guess. And then after that, Warrior just became New Balance, and they brought out probably one of the worst pair of boots that I've ever worn, which is the New Balance Furon, the first generation. And these boots were just terrible. I feel like the Superheats were way better, and these were just not it. You guys can see kind of the inspiration. They were kind of the same, like mesh, like upper. The upper here in the toe box wasn't too stiff. Like here in the midfoot, this like, I don't know what this material is. This like fused overlaid material. It was just so stiff. It was just so uncomfortable. The heel was just not comfortable. It was just not a really good boot in my opinion. So yeah, New Balance Furon. Why do I still have these? Just so I can say it's like one of the worst boots that I've tried. So moving on, New Balance Vizaro, first generation, was just like the Hypervenom Phantom 1, kind of, not really. It did have the same like textured upper, but it felt really different. This one was more responsive. It wasn't as soft. The sole plate was kind of stiff, but still a good boot to wear. Here we have the first Tequila, the first generation New Balance Tequila, and this boot I still wear just because they're just super comfortable. Like you guys can see this upper, it's just extremely soft. It's just very comfortable boot. Not as responsive, but it's a very comfortable boot. One of the more comfortable boots I've worn. So after that, we have the New Balance Tequila, the second V2, second generation. And you know, these were good too. They kind of reinforced the upper so it wasn't, you know, too soft. It was thinner. And these honestly just didn't really fit my foot all that well. I actually needed to go half a size up. But you know, the little bit of time that I did get into these, you know, they're pretty good. And we have the modern like Tequila V4. We have the Furon V7, the Tequila V4 Plus Low. Really good boots overall. I feel like New Balance right now have a really strong lineup. I haven't tried the V7 Plus. They're kind of similar, I'm pretty sure, but the Tequila V4 Plus Low is just very good in hand. I haven't tried these yet. I will do a playtest video soon, or it might be up before this video. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah. Alright, so next we'll move on to Under Armour. So here my first pair of Under Armours were these, the Blur Carbon 3s, I believe, or the 4s. Not exactly sure. Nice soft synthetic upper, burrito style tongue. Overall, these are pretty solid. I actually outgrew these pretty quick. These were a size, I think, 9, but they kind of ran small. So they fit me for a bit, and then my foot kind of grew, so these no longer fit me. But the time that I did wear them, pretty solid from Under Armour. And then here we have the Under Armour, damn, I forgot what these are called. The Speed Forms? There we go, Speed Forms. Now this boot right here is probably my second favorite boot of all time. It's just so comfortable. It fits me like a glove, and the upper is nice and soft. You know, it's nothing crazy with this boot. You know, the sole plate is, I don't know, just feels standard, but the upper is nice and soft, and just the fit of these boots just fit me really great. Overall, these are my probably top 3 favorite boots of all time. Here we have the Under Armour Clutch Fit 3.0s, and these again are very good. Nice thin upper, has this like stretchy quality to it, and overall it's a solid boot. Here we have the Under Armour Clutch Fit 3.0 3D. So this was like a 3D version, so I believe some parts of the upper were kind of 3D made, and you guys can see it's a very interesting boot just because you guys have these fins right here. Hopefully the camera focuses. Like when you wear it, these fins kind of pop up. It's kind of hard to see, but very, very unique boot. Haven't really worn these boots all that much. I have tried them on feet, but very unique concept from Under Armour. And then here we have the Under Armour zipper boot. That's what I just call them. Honestly, don't really know the name, but yeah, this was their attempt to like introduce a zippered system into a boot. And honestly, you know, the upper itself is actually pretty soft and thin, nice and pliable, you guys can see. But this like area here, there's just so much bulk to it. Like apart from the zipper, there was like an internal lacing system, you guys can see here. And no, the fit was just very chunky here in the midfoot. They did make a normal version with the standard lace construction, and I believe that boot was actually pretty good. I actually never tried it, but just based on the upper itself here, it's a very, very good boot. Like the fit, like it was chunky, but once you got your foot in and zipped it up, it didn't feel too bad. So I imagine with like a normal lacing system, it would feel pretty good. So yep. And then here, my only pair of Umbros, UX Acuro, the first one I believe, and you know, this boot was actually again pretty cool just because it had this like forearm memory foam in different areas of the boot, so here in the striking path and in the toe box, and it was a very unique sensation, very dampened feel on the ball, pretty soft, nice and comfortable. I actually didn't mind wearing this boot. I did have the second generation, but I recently just gave them away to a friend just because they didn't really fit me well, even though they were size 9, they kind of fit really big. And they weren't as comfortable as these, so I just, you know, gave them away. But yeah, these are my only pair of Umbros. So yeah, guys, that's it for my entire football boot collection. Like I said, I don't really collect boots all that much. I don't really go out to buy limited edition stuff. I just buy like the standard colorways and just keep them. So this is basically me buying cleats from 2013. And I have let some boots go. I don't have all the boots that I have bought. Some of them I have sold already or just worn out and just threw them out. But yeah, hopefully the video isn't too long and hopefully, you know, I didn't talk too much. So if you guys are here towards the end, thank you guys so much for watching. And if the camera's kind of shaky, I do apologize for it. It was just kind of hard to record it with one hand and then just grab the boot with the other hand. So I did my best. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like. Make sure to subscribe. I do have more reviews coming in. I'm still testing out the Copa. We'll be testing the Tequila soon. And then I have these boots to do like first impressions on. So more videos coming in the next couple of weeks. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell notification so you're notified for those videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.